Welcome to the Literally First Class podcast, where I will teach you how to overcome anxiety and achieve somatic success. I'm your host, Keri Ford. I'm a somatic success and holistic life coach here to bring humor, insight, and wisdom to the modern day woman that wants to feel alive in her daily life. You ready? Come on, I saved you a seat in first class. So I just got done running my Unmade preview call. And for those of you that don't know, Unmade is a series of retreats that I host here in Atlanta. It's a brand new offer that I have. And it focuses on unbecoming as an immersive experience. It's for the 1% woman, the woman that considers herself externally successful, but maybe internally unfulfilled. And so what they walk away with as a result of being part of these retreats is learning how to have more by doing less. In fact, we don't even lead with what we do. We are all about who we are being and what we get to unbecome from. So anyway, I was running this call and we have 3 criteria that we coach on. And these are our sacred ground rules, like 3 keys to master success in this specific retreat, but really any container, if I'm being honest, that I'm hosting. So those 3 things are being radically responsible, being courageous, and being curious. And so this came up on the call, and also, in reflection from last week's episode with my dear friends Dr. Jen and Dr. Dom, I wanted to share with you some thoughts that I had. And I was sitting and thinking about what is a literally first class move. And I feel that a literally first class move is something that's also courageous. And so this came up on the Unmade call, but also it was my full intention to talk about this today on the podcast, which is great. I love when everything is divinely orchestrated in a way that just has this beautiful, seamless through thread. And so the movie that I'm referencing here in what came up for me around being a literally first class move was this movie that Jake and I watched last week at the cabin. And the movie is called Good Luck to You, Leo Grande. It's on Hulu. I don't know if you've seen it. And Emma Thompson, who was in the movie Love Actually, is absolutely brilliant. I didn't expect the film to capture my attention the entire time simply because, well, it was only filmed in, like the set was only one set almost the entire time. And I don't know about you guys, but do you remember that movie Phone Booth? That was a terrible movie. I mean, literally the whole fucking movie was in a phone booth. It was like, seriously, we get it. Like, we're in a phone booth. This movie was different. It was actually brilliant. And Emma Thompson plays such an incredible and important role. And this is where making first class moves and being literally first class, came up for me because of her and how she played this role, and the things that women really endure, not from a victim perspective, but just from a societal norm, unfortunately, in Western culture, things and places and circumstances and beliefs where we have been suppressed and we have been, the result of patriarchal thinking. Now, to be clear, I believe that men are also the result of patriarchal thinking. I think everyone is kind of a quote unquote victim to it, if you will. But I'm trying to find the right words here without giving too much away about the movie because I want to be mindful because I'm giving you homework to watch it between now and next week. But she plays a role of a woman named Nancy who's in her 60s, and Emma is also around that same age. I'm not exactly sure how old she is. But the character is in her 60s, and she's been married most of her life, and her husband passes away. Now, she comes to realize she has never had an orgasm at 60 years old. Now, she's only ever been with one man in her whole life, which was her husband, her late husband. And so she hires a sex worker to help her with this new goal, to experience an orgasm for the first time in her life. I mean, but first of all, can we just put a pin in that? And can you imagine? And maybe there's some of you out there that haven't experienced an orgasm or yeah, you just have not felt comfortable in your body. Maybe you don't know how to access it. Maybe you haven't had a willing and able partner that is equally in creation to curiosity and intimacy. Maybe feeling vulnerable feels wildly unsafe. And that's true for most people. Vulnerability does require courage, right? Which is one of the things I shared about when you step into a container with me, something we are in creation of leaning into. But the reason that Emma Thompson in this particular movie, in this role, is literally first class is because of the way she speaks to most women. But I related on such a deep level as a woman that is almost 40 with 2 kids that's gone through a divorce to everything that she was sharing. Not the part about not ever having an orgasm, but the thoughts that she was having about her body at this age, or the relevancy and the value and the inherent worthiness of her existing as a woman. I mean, let's be clear. Most of us, again, in Western culture and who are the result of the patriarchal systems in place and programming here, we've received the message that as we age, our body is kind of irrelevant. As a society, we don't respect the elders more. We put them in nursing homes and we treat them like they're a nuisance and that they don't know what they're talking about and that they're not really respected for all of the wisdom they've acquired. In fact, I would go so far as to say that wisdom is not really seen as a beautiful attribute of most women as they age. Because, myself included, we have done all of the anti-aging things. To look wise and to be with your wisdom is not something that we embrace as a culture, especially in women. Men seem to get finer with age, at least that's the perception. And women seem to need to reverse aging in order to stay relevant, worthy, chosen, valuable, and desired. What? It's crazy to me. So Emma and the character Nancy explores in this movie the thoughts that come up as you age as a woman who might be feeling irrelevant, not desirable, not even worthy of being intimate with. Oh my gosh. And I know this is a more serious episode for the podcast, but I'm going to give you some lighthearted homework. And the lighthearted homework is to go watch this movie. It's about 2 hours long. And I want you to tell me what comes up for you in the last 5 minutes. I was fine. I did not get emotional until about the last 5 minutes. And I'm not going to tell you what the ending is or what happens. But what I will share with you is my response to the ending. And that is these thoughts. Holy shit. I can't believe she did that. Wow, that's really her. And thank you so much, Emma Thompson. Every woman gets to feel that. Every woman gets to have that. And I just thought, man, that's a fucking boss move. That is the revolution. That is amazing. And that's what made me emotional about it. It was beautiful, profound, relatable in so many ways. And you can watch how, despite claiming what she wants and knowing what she wants, her anxiety and her historical trauma keeps her from claiming it. And this is the work that I do with clients through the somatic lens, bringing them back in their body, creating new neural pathways, and new experiences in their body so they can learn how to recalibrate safety. And you can literally witness that. Emma does a brilliant job. Again, I've used that word 18 different times, but it's so true. This movie is so good. She does such an excellent job of dancing in the anxiety and really showing the personification of how this trauma and how our mind wants to keep us from the things that we actually deeply desire and want. And even deeper than that, what we make ourselves wrong about and what we experience shame around. Shame is the ultimate suppression. Brene Brown, and this is a lot of what the Unmade Retreat is focused on too, but Brene Brown has an incredible quote that I love here, which is shame needs 3 ingredients to survive. And those 3 ingredients are secrecy, silence, and judgment. But what happens when we remove the secrecy? What happens when we remove the judgment? What happens when we remove the silence? We free ourselves from the shame. We stop making ourselves wrong and we feel fucking alive. And that is what I want every woman to experience. That is the definition of what I call somatic success, where your internal experience of success matches the external posturing of success. And I want that for every woman. I want that inner liberation. I want like such deep acceptance of your body and who you be and how you fucking show up in this world to be like those last few minutes. Oh, it's such a good movie. I can't wait for you guys to watch it. After you watch it, do me a favor, tag me on @literallyfirstclass and tell me, like put a screenshot of you watching it or the screen and tell me what you're coming away with and what your first class move is as a result of watching this movie. It's incredible. So that's the podcast this week, guys. It's a short, sweet, but impactful episode because I wanted to share what a literally first class move is. And hands down, Emma Thompson, as both the actor and the role of Nancy, like wins this week. She wins first class move of the week. And if you haven't listened yet, you can go back and hear what Dr. Jen and Dr. Dom's answer was to making first class moves last week, which is what prompted this whole reflection to begin with. So, and I'm excited. Actually, my Unmade clients are coming to the retreat next week here in Atlanta, and their homework is also to watch that movie. And so we get to unpack that in real life, in the flesh, in person at this retreat experience. And side note, if the Unmade experience sounds like something interesting to you, our next one is March 23rd. We already have 2 of the 10 spots claimed. So you just can go to the website, elevatewithkeri.com/unmade and submit your application. And if we feel like it's a good fit, I will reach out and we'll schedule an interview. But as always, thank you for being here, and I'll see you next week on the podcast. I hope you enjoyed your flight, and I'll see you on board again soon. Seriously, though, thanks for listening. If you're ready to take this work deeper and upgrade your mind, I want to invite you to join us inside my Millionaire Mindset program. This is where you'll start using my guided meditations to help you overcome anxiety and experience even more abundance. When you join, you'll have access to my entire audio library. Head over to elevatewithkeri.com and we'll see you inside.